Marvel and DC have been copying each other's characters for years, and in LEGO games it's more obvious than ever, so today we're throwing 40 of their most shamelessly similar characters into head-to-head battles to finally settle it who does it better in LEGO games, Marvel or DC. Every round is judged on 3 things: how powerful a character is, appearance, and how fun they are to play. That is 3 points up for grabs each round, and the first side to hit 30 points wins. With Superman in theatres, it's only fitting to start round 1 with Superman vs Marvel's answer to Superman, Sentry. In LEGO games, their similarities are wild. They both fly, shoot lasers, and even wear a giant S on their outfit. Now for power, Superman clears this point due to his ice breath and X-ray vision, which Sentry lacks. Even though Superman is weak to kryptonite, it barely shows up in LEGO games outside of the story. 1 point to Superman. Now for looks, Sentry isn't as interesting as Superman. You cannot beat that iconic outfit no matter which LEGO Superman you like best. Now when it comes to who is the most fun to play, Sentry's Void idle animation is a cool surprise, but you cannot play as Void unless you mod him in, which feels like wasted potential. If you could, I honestly might have give this point to Sentry, and when flying as Superman, hearing John Williams is just peak. Another point to Superman. That's a 3-0 sweep for DC right out of the gate, putting them in the lead, but will it stay this strong for DC? Now between the serious matchups, I'm gonna throw in a few wildcard matchups. Next up for round 2, we have Detective Chimp vs Hitmonkey. It's Marvel's Assassin Monkey versus DC's Genius Detective Monkey. So Detective Chimp actually came out first way back in 1952, and Hitmonkey didn't show up until 2010 in the Marvel comics. Power, this one goes to Detective Chimp. He's basically Batman without a grapple with a banana, and yeah, that holds him back, whereas Hitmonkey has the same power as a glorified henchman. Looks was tough when you have Sherlock Holmes as a monkey and John Wick as a monkey, but the point has to go to Sherlock. And no, I'm not just saying that because I'm British. His outfit just looks a lot better and I prefer his head mold. Now, for who is the most fun to play, throwing bananas is funny, but the jump and shoot mechanic with Hitmonkey makes him super satisfying. Plus, his monkeys don't look at explosions, and his bullet dive John Wick finisher is easily one of the coolest special attacks in the game. Finally, a point to Marvel. Round score, Sherlock 2, John Wick 1. Detective Chimp takes the win, placing the overall scoreboard at DC 5, Marvel 1. Round 3, Plastic Man vs Mr. Fantastic. Not many people know that Plastic Man actually came out first in 1941, whereas Mr. Fantastic didn't debut until 1961 with the Fantastic Four. Power, honestly, they are nearly identical. Same stretching animation, same smash attacks, but Plastic Man takes the point. And it all comes down to one ability Mr. Fantastic doesn't have. While Reed can turn into a teapot, Plastic Man turns into a space hopper. No, that is not what makes him more powerful. He can also turn into a tiny Lego plane and fly, and in Lego games, flight is super powerful. Point to DC. Looks, now this one has to go to Mr. Fantastic. That classic blue 60s suit is peak superhero, and it completely outclasses the newer Lego Fantastic Four minifigures, which honestly look like bootlegs. And he didn't steal Superman's hair. 1 point to Marvel. For most fun to play, this one is so close. They play the same. I will say Mr. Fantastic's teapot beats the boring space hopper. Imagine if another character could hop on in co-op. Missed opportunity. Plastic Man takes this point because of the plane. I feel like I'm playing Lego Top Gun. Final round score, Plastic Man 2, Reed Richards 1. Plastic Man wins. Round 4, Booster Gold vs Star-Lord. They are both cocky space tech heroes and 100% convinced they're cooler than everyone else. For power, Booster Gold has your basic lasers and tech, but Star-Lord is completely OP in LEGO Marvel 2 because of his gravity bombs. They're like mini black holes, they're so overpowered. Point to Marvel. For looks, I absolutely love Star-Lord's mask, especially how you can turn it on and off in LEGO Marvel 2. But Booster Gold, did you know, was the first LEGO character with a proper companion, Skeets the floating egg droid, who is such a standout visual touch for Booster Gold, and that's why I've decided to give this point to DC. Now, for fun factor, these two heroes love themselves, and in their universe, they are both equally as fun to play, but what made the Guardians of the Galaxy's movie so good was the music. And Star-Lord's mixtape, which you can pull out and listen to any time in the game and blast enemies is why Star-Lord is my favourite character in LEGO Marvel 2. This point goes to Marvel. Final score, Booster Gold 1, Star-Lord 2. Star-Lord dances away with the win. It's still anyone's game. Marvel has momentum, but can they keep it up, or will DC hold the line? Let's find out. Up next is our fastest matchup yet, The Flash vs Quicksilver. The Flash made his way into the DC Comics back in 1940, while Quicksilver didn't show up until 1964. For power, it all comes down to who is the fastest, and in LEGO games, Quicksilver is actually faster by around 10 miles per hour. And not only that, he can duplicate himself like Loki, letting you have an army of speedsters. So that point goes to Marvel. Now for looks, you cannot beat Flash's iconic red suit with yellow lightning. And even in LEGO Batman 2, he looks amazing, and I have to admit, I kinda prefer the old helmet design. It just puts a smile on my face. Meanwhile, Quicksilver's MCU look in LEGO is a guy in jeans with white hair. For most fun, this might surprise you, but Quicksilver wins it again, as he can do something the Flash can't do in any of the LEGO DC games. Sprint up walls and on water like Jesus. Why can't you do this with the Flash? And if you know about the custom character glitch, then you know Quicksilver basically broke the game in the best way possible. And he has tons of unique team-ups with certain heroes. Final score, Quicksilver 2, Flash 1.
You didn't see that coming?
Marvel scores another clutch win. And I would love to know, who do you think was robbed, and what matchup would you score differently in the comments below? Anyway, let's get back to it. Next round is a wildcard round of mischief. It's Klarion vs Loki. Here we have two staff-swinging, spell-slinging characters who love chaos. And Loki hit comics in 1962, Klarion followed in 1973, and while one is a Norse god and the other's a witch boy with a demonic cat, in LEGO games they are almost copy and paste in terms of abilities, so for power, who gets the point? Klarion does have a dash portal move that is honestly pretty epic for repositioning in boss battles, which Loki doesn't have. However, he can clone himself. But Loki does have the real trump card, as if you have played LEGO games, you know how overpowered ice beams are, and Loki can pull out the Allspark. So I'm going to give this point to Loki. For looks, we have to talk about Teakle, Clarion's cat. Watching them walk together in-game is weirdly wholesome. Every few steps, Klarion and Teakle literally turn and look at each other mid-walk, like true LEGO bros. And his outfit is pretty clean, but nothing exciting. It's just a black suit, and as much as I love cats, Loki takes home another point here. His outfit is too iconic, the horns, the colour scheme. For who is the most fun to play? This one's a really tough call, as watching Klarion throw hands and paws at enemies is so funny. But then there's Loki. He can fill the screen with fake Lokis, and every time he jumps, he does that little dramatic spin mid-air. And the sounds his staff makes when he strikes are heavenly. 1 point to Marvel. Overall score, Klarion 0, Loki 3. Whew, and just like that, Marvel has clawed their way back. The scores are now tied at 9 to DC and 9 to Marvel. It's officially game on. And the next round is a big one. Two billionaires with tons of suits. It's Batman vs Iron Man. Who is the most powerful? Iron Man can fly, but Batman, across all his different suits, even back in LEGO Batman 1, he's had more abilities overall. Ice, sonar, diving, even flight in LEGO Batman 3 with his space suit. Yes, you do have to charge it up, but once you get the red brick, you're set to go. Yeah, let's ignore the heat suit though. It's the biggest piece of dog. Sure, Batman got nerfed in DC Supervillains, but we can also say this for Iron Man in LEGO Marvel 2. They took away all of his suits that had different abilities. So if we're judging them at their strongest, Batman easily takes the power point. Looks, this one is gonna get super controversial, but to me, there is one clear winner. Iron Man has tons of stunning armor designs that come with cool transformation animations, but Batman's suits feel more unique from one to the next, and they always introduce new suits with every game. Whereas Iron Man only had amazing suits in Marvel Avengers. Point to Batman. For most fun to play, Batman does feel rewarding as you go through the games, unlocking new suits, but Iron Man feels super seamless to play. Equip him, fly instantly, shoot rockets, lasers. And I do love the different transformation animations for switching suits, but you could argue Batman Freeze is quick and easy. I'm gonna give the point to Iron Man. Final score, Batman 2, Iron Man 1. I guess Batman was correct, Iron Man does suck. Get ready for our next wildcard round. Two muddy, messy shapeshifters are going head to head. It's Clayface vs Sandman. Who came first? Well, Clayface came out in 1940 with Sandman arriving later in 1963. Out of the two, who is the most powerful? Now, Clayface can go full-on kaiju size in DC supervillains, and if we ever get a new LEGO Marvel game, Sandman needs to be able to go big. Though Sandman cannot go big, he can turn into a cannon and destroy silver objects, which Clayface cannot do, but that alone is not enough to give him the power point. However, his ability to be able to use sandpits being one of only two characters in the game, the other being his henchman who is a spitting image of Clayface, makes him super powerful in LEGO Marvel 1, so this point goes to Sandman. Now, for looks, Clayface's LEGO model has way more detail, and his minifigure design is what made everyone fall in love with him. Point to Clayface. Let's not talk about how they massacred Sandman in LEGO Marvel 2. What is that minifigure design? Ugh. Fun fact to this point easily goes to Clayface. You can transform big and even into a boulder and chase down people wearing fedoras. Even dating back to the older LEGO Batman games, I love throwing LEGO poo at people. It's funny. Round score, Clayface 2, Sandman 1. Clayface wins, and just like that, DC is back in the lead. Next up is a big one. It's Dr. Fate vs. Doctor Strange. Who is the copycat? It's kind of surprising how not a lot of people know that Dr. Fate actually came first back in 1940 in the DC Comics, while Doctor Strange didn't show up until 1963. And they are so alike. Both command reality and love dramatic hand gestures. And in the LEGO games, they're identical, but Strange does take the point for power, because he has the Time Stone, giving him access to time manipulation. Next, looks. I have to say, I prefer the comic look of Doctor Strange, especially the DLC version with the floating axe. And then there's Dr. Fate, and even if you are a massive Marvel fan, we all can admit here, Dr. Fate looks better. And if you're not completely sold, what I absolutely love about him is whenever you start spellcasting, his eyes glow. 1 point to Dr. Fate. For most fun to play, I will admit Dr. Fate is a little too serious for a LEGO game. I always like it when LEGO games try and add humour to serious characters, and to me they did that perfectly with Doctor Strange. I love his idle animations where his cape messes with him and he drinks a cup of tea, and instead of just having a boring shield bubble, yes, Doctor Strange does have one, but it's not a shield bubble, it's like a weird PNG. That's not even center. Doctor Strange also comes equipped with a charge-up attack that Dr. Fate doesn't have. It's not powerful, but it's fun to watch. Again, with those dramatic hand gestures, mate, you're not signaling in a plane. 1 point to Doctor Strange. Overall round score, Dr. Fate 1, Doctor Strange 2. Marvel is just 1 point behind DC. Next up, we have a mini-hero showdown. It's Atom vs. Ant-Man. Does anybody else think it's a little bit sus how the Atom came out in October of 1961 and Ant-Man came out in January of 1962? Both characters can obviously shrink and crawl up butts to defeat enemies, but Atom can only go large in a special charge-up move, which is a bit rubbish unless you buy the CW DLC Atom. Credits where it's due, at least they made him completely different to the base game's Atom, and he's even voiced by Brandon Routh, who played Atom and Superman. Even if the base game's Atom could go large, he is nowhere near as powerful as Ant-Man because of Ant-Man's Ants in Your Pants special move, which instantly deletes enemies near you. It's so broke. And fun fact, did you know if you tap it, you can just make enemies dance on the spot? Celebrate good times. Come on! 1 point to Ant-Man. Next, looks. Atom's kinda generic in LEGO, and let's not even look at him in LEGO Batman 3, whereas Ant-Man's comic design is charming, and his MCU suit looks clean. 1 point again to Ant-Man. Will Atom score a point for most fun to play? No, again, it's not even close. Ant-Man actually has full-on unique attacking animations when giant, unlike the Atom. I will give him credit though, I I do like the little animation when he shrinks. And we have to point out that Ant-Man has a suit-up transformation sequence that is so fun to trigger. Round score, Atom 0, Ant-Man 3. A clean sweep for Marvel, putting them in the lead. Up next is the ultimate copycat round. It's none other than Deathstroke vs Deadpool. Before the battle begins, hello there guys, I am RuggedEagle and I do tons of LEGO game videos. If you have enjoyed this video so far, a subscribe and like would mean so much. Now let's see who is going to win. Deadpool is literally Marvel's copy of Deathstroke. Deathstroke came first in 1980 and Deadpool in 1991 with a suspiciously similar name, look and weapon loadout. Most powerful, Deadpool is actually kinda weak in LEGO Marvel 1. His only good ability is regeneration. Sometimes I wish I had regeneration abilities like you. Shut up, Coulson. Whereas Deathstroke is similar to Batman, having a lot of abilities. 1 point to Deathstroke. Next up, looks. Deathstroke looks a lot more tactical and serious, meanwhile Deadpool is the total opposite. And honestly, Deadpool's simplicity just works. He is a fan favourite for a reason. This was tough, but Deadpool gets the point. Here's the controversial one. Who is more fun to play? As fun as Deadpool's personality is, Deathstroke actually feels better to control. Granted, it's a newer LEGO game, but we cannot ignore how smooth his animations are shooting while running. And what lacked with Dr. Fate was how they made him too serious. Now, Deathstroke is a serious character, but I love how they gave him a bit of humour, like when he pulls out a chicken wing and eats it. He just needs to cook it in some hot lava. Round score, Deathstroke 2, Deadpool 1. A surprising round, but a welcome one. The next round is two heroes nobody takes seriously when they are awesome. It's Green Arrow vs Hawkeye. Both love trick arrows, with Green Arrow appearing first in 1941 and Hawkeye in 1964. This hasn't happened yet, but for most powerful, both characters have the exact same abilities, using all of their trick arrows. I don't get though why Green Arrow hacks with an arrow. It's a bit overkill, mate. I get you use arrows. So I'm gonna have to base this point off who can kill enemies the best and most efficiently. And the point goes to Green Arrow. He fights a lot faster and he can dodge attacks with a power slide, and his special move has a massive area of effect. And he can throw fart bombs at people. 1 point to Green Arrow. Next, for looks. Even if you are a massive Marvel fan, you cannot deny that Green Arrow looks way cooler than Hawkeye. From the goatee to the hooded CW look. 1 point to Green Arrow. Now, for most fun to play, I've got to give this point to Hawkeye. When he shoots enemies, sometimes he will fire a trick arrow which has special killing animations. They're so brutal and fun to watch. And if they would have given this to Green Arrow, he would have been perfect. Round score, Green Arrow 2, Hawkeye 1. And just like that, we are tied again. 18 to 18. Marvel and DC are neck and neck, but who's going to pull ahead next? Get ready for a round of darkness. It's Raven vs Cloak. These two characters are so similar. They both teleport, fire off dark energy, float around, and are constantly moody. For most powerful, in LEGO Dimensions, Raven has an exclusive character-only ability that nobody else has. You may argue that is a bit unfair because in LEGO Dimensions, they gave characters exclusive abilities so you buy the packs. Even if we ignore that, Raven can actually fly, whereas Cloak can only glide. Plus, she can summon in a crow and a sparkle face, whatever the brick a sparkle face is. 1 point to Raven. For who looks the best, this one's tricky. Cloak's design is genuinely slick with his striped cape and hood, which is unique, but Raven has a lot more aura. She floats when stood still and moving. And did you know when she attacks, her eyes glow red? She's intimidating and stylish, and my favourite version of Raven by far is the Teen Titans cartoony look. And I like how when she flies, you can see her outfit fully. 1 point to Raven. Now, for most fun to play, Raven can summon in a giant demonic hand, a massive tombstone, though, I will be real, it's kinda lazy how they copy and pasted Jean Grey's fighting animations onto her in LEGO Batman 3. Like, what the hell? Then there's Cloak, who is still phenomenal, and both characters made it into my top 20 characters for Marvel and DC. But when we look at the best version of Raven in LEGO Dimensions, Ravens and Cloak in LEGO Marvel 2, I will say Raven feels like the full upgrade. I like how she zips across the screen when attacking and not just when targeting. Overall round score, Raven 3, Cloak 0. And personally, I think they should have combined Cloak and Dagger into one character. Now, that round has helped DC a lot on the scoreboard. DC are now at 21 and Marvel at 18. Next up is two hotheads up against each other. It's Firestorm vs. Human Torch. Surprisingly, the PowerPoint is going to Firestorm. He is not just about fire, he can teleport, use X-ray vision, and even slip through LEGO vents. Looks, Johnny Storm easily takes this one. He's fully covered in flames, looks great while flying, and the whole design just pops. I'm personally not a fan of LEGO's transparent fire headpiece on Firestorm. I get that it's accurate to the LEGO sets, but visually, it just doesn't hit the same. I would love to know which you prefer, animated LEGO flames or the actual LEGO flame headpiece. Most fun to play, this one is super easy. It's the Human Torch. Hearing flame on every time you launch into the air never gets old. I do want to give credit to Firestorm though. It's awesome how he throws fireballs when attacking. Fireball! But it doesn't beat flame on. 1 point to Human Torch. Round score, Firestorm 1, Human Torch 2. DC holds the lead, but it's still anyone's game. Next up, lightning's about to strike twice. It's Shazam vs. Thor. Two lightning-powered heroes, one a literal god and the other a kid who transforms by yelling a magic word. Thor hit comics in 1962, but DC's Shazam originally appeared way back in 1939 as Captain Marvel. For power, both heroes are strong, but Shazam has more abilities in DC supervillains like Teleport and X-Ray. 1 point to Shazam. Now, for looks, Thor's grey armor and red cape and blonde locks are iconic, but to me, I just think Shazam's outfit pops way more on screen, and I love the little lightning bolts, even dating back to his first appearance in LEGO Batman 2 as DLC. 1 point to Shazam. This one's tough. For who is the most fun to play, both heroes have awesome transformation animations, and with Shazam, you even get to play as Billy Batson, and I appreciate how his comic and DLC movie version have different animations. As for Thor, watching Mjolnir fly around the map taking out enemies is so satisfying, and the sounds his hammer make, and when he's flying, he is so different to all the other characters because he uses Mjolnir to fly, and his slam attack is broken. 1 point to Thor. Shazam wins. Round score, Shazam 2, 4-1. Next up, get ready for a monster mash. It's Killer Croc vs. Lizard. Two giant LEGO reptiles that just love eating people, with Lizard being able to transform into Kurt Connors, who can do technology panels and blow up silver objects with his explosive lizards. Lizard takes the PowerPoint. Now, for looks, Killer Croc looked his best in LEGO Batman 3 with the awesome chains clanking and letting off sparks when attacking. Then there is Lizard, who is the best in LEGO Marvel 1 due to the transformation, but oh my, does he look incredible in LEGO Marvel 2. With the lab coat and the scales and his animated tail, in the end, I decided Lizard takes the edge in Marvel 2. For most fun to play, Killer Croc seals this point because of his unique animations, like when he picks up a boulder with his mouth. Bro has a strong jaw. It's all that mewing. Killer Croc's entire moveset is all new, whereas Lizard just reuses the hulks. Round score, Killer Croc 1, Lizard 2. Marvel is clawing back, but DC only need to get 5 more points and they win. Up next is a Android face-off. It's Red Tornado vs. Vision. It's kind of wild that both of these characters were created in the exact same year of 1968. Red Tornado actually came first by about 2 months. So who's the most powerful android? Honestly, Red Tornado's a bit disappointing in LEGO games for a character who's supposed to manipulate air and control wind. His abilities and animations barely represent this. Meanwhile, Vision is a beast in LEGO Marvel Avengers, phasing through the ground while attacking, wielding the Mind Stone. 1 point to Vision. Now, for looks, Red Tornado's design just feels like like a custom character, while Vision's Lego minifigure looks sleek and polished and instantly recognisable. 1 point to Vision again. Now, for most fun to play, Red Tornado's flying animation is awesome at first, but the novelty fades super fast. Whereas Vision may not have the cool flying animation, he can phase through the floor, has tons of team-up moves. 1 point to Vision. Vision wins a clean sweep for Marvel, putting them in the lead.
You didn't see that coming.
Next up, it's the Battle of the Space Cops. It's Green Lantern vs. Nova. Both of them work for Intergalactic Peacekeeping Corps, the Nova Corps and the Green Lantern Corps, and Green Lantern came first in 1959 with Nova following in 1976. Most powerful, Green Lantern easily takes this point. Ever since Lego Batman 2, Lantern characters became ridiculously powerful, summoning giant energy constructs for combat and puzzles. Nova's solid, but his moveset is pretty standard. Flight, blast, repeat is your basic Lego superhero. 1 point to Green Lantern. Now, for looks, I actually left this one up to you guys, the community, and you lot voted for Green Lantern, and honestly, I'm so glad you did. Most fun to play, nobody can argue here, it's Green Lantern. He can charge up a giant fist and send it forward in DC supervillains, and even to the likes of Power Ring, who can summon a minigun. And that is what I particularly love so much about the Lantern characters. They all summon different things, and it just gives them personality. The best Green Lantern, though, is Batman Freeze. He can turn into a gyrosphere, and I like how he constantly walks around like he owns the place. Round score, Green Lantern 3, Nova 0. A clean sweep for DC. All DC needs now is 2 more points, and they win. Next up, Darkseid vs. Thanos. Two of the biggest, baddest cosmic villains in comics, and did you know Thanos was 100% inspired by Darkseid? So who is the most powerful? Well, it's Thanos, having all 6 Infinity Stones in LEGO Marvel 2. Overall, he has a lot more abilities, but did you know that Darkseid's Omega Beams can destroy golden, silver, and sonar objects? Now, for looks, I couldn't decide, so I ended up leaving it to you guys, the community, and you ended up voting for Darkseid, which was super surprising, and again, I'm glad you did. This comment about Thanos looking like a grandma pulling up to a bully's house was brilliant. 1 point to DC. And now for the most important point, will DC win or will Marvel stay in the game? For the most fun, both are ridiculously fun to play, but I've got to give this point to Darkseid. His controllable Omega Beams, his Meteor Slam attacks are unreal. Who do you think was robbed, and what matchup would you have scored differently? Let me know in the comments below. And there we have it. After 19 crazy rounds, 57 total points given out, DC reached 30 points first, and they take the victory. Well done, DC, and honestly, I think it was deserved. Thanks for watching, guys, and before you go, why don't you check out me ranking all of the big characters in LEGO games. Adios!